my baby. Go home, my baby. My baby, baby, I'm going home. Baby, baby, I'm going home. Let me be about this old good wrong. My baby. Go home, my baby. Go home.
Are healthy and happy. I know how important care that affirmed someone's true identity can be.
You're trannies.
Wow.
Violent extremist threat comes from racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists.
I don't understand white rage, and I'm white. White supremacy is a poison. It's a poison.
Right?
It really is.
Oh, it is. It's everywhere. Wait.
Through our body politic. And it's been allowed
Speak
to
for
fester
yourself.
and grow right in front of our eyes.
Bro, I see people out there get hurt. I don't want to I just make a...
It's like they knew she was going to get shot. The cops are all hanging around. They're guarding the doors.
Watch these cops. Watch these cops just walk off. Where are they going and why? Now all hell breaks loose. These guys start picking at the doors. Why did the cops walk away? Why are they just standing there?
So they wouldn't get hit by the gunfire.
Can anyone explain this? Now you see, there he is, Michael Bird, and his gun. And he's about to shoot Ashley Babbitt.
Boom, shot her dead.
Why did any of that just happen? Why did those cops walk away? What the hell happened there?
1,400 videos of you with the hookers and the cocaine. Yeah, I think you can get rid of those. I know it's fun to look back, but I think it's time we give those the old scrub a dub, all right? All right, love you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Put on the brakes. Put on the brakes.
Oh, hot mic. Look out.
I guess. Welcome, welcome, boys and girls, children of all ages, hoofties, poofties, bung-eyed evers, right and left wing wackos, woodchucks and chuckettes, kings and queens of the Northeast Kingdom, and little dogs too, to another version of It's News to Us. A sleepy old dog. What's the matter? You got nothing to say for yourself? Huh? I know. Well, if your little girlfriend hadn't taken a dump in the studio last week, you'd probably be welcome back. Damn dog. Anyways, okay, old man. Where are we? Who are we?
Hey, send him out to the air. I'll get him on camera first before he decides to go away. Hey, go away. There.
There you go. You gonna hide behind the curtains like the Wizard of Oz?
More like the Blizzard of Oz.
Yeah. Now you're giving me the stink eye. Look, I'm sorry I forgot your pepperonis at the house, man. I'll get you some more at the store.
Anyways, where are we?
Yeah, who are we? Where are we? Whoa! You are watching It's News to Us, where Newport Shorter's TV news watches new. You new brown Q, as the locals say. We got adult things in adult language. You're advised, just in case one slips out. Beware of the Bronze Age invisible sky god. Are going to beat you and forgive you and beat you and forgive you like Job in the Old Testament. And, oh, damn it. Here's our cadaver in chief right here. There he is. Oh, get off my lawn. Yeah. Oh, man. His corruption. Let me grab this stuff. You want to crit it? All right, you're halfway there. His corruption is just, there's the cadaver in chief right there. Thanks, Philo. Wave to the audience.
Here, I'm waving now, see?
Yeah.
I'm waving now.
We keep them locked in the booth. Philo T. Farnsworth, College of Musical Knowledge. You can see his drum videos on YouTube at Terry DeFazio. He's quite the drummer. He's got a nice kit and he knows how to use it. But anyways, yeah,
I have a new video for you next week, Steve.
All right.
The wife loves the Eagles, and I like one song by them, so I'm doing Life in the Fast Lane.
Oh, man. You remember that segment of The Big Lebowski where
Vaguely,
he gets kicked out of Malibu and he has to take a cab, and the cab driver, he's screaming at the cab driver, "I hate the Eagles, can you change the channel?" He's like, "Get out of my cab, man, get the hell out of my cab." But anyways.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's hysterical. Yeah, it seems like the People's Republic of China has been using this thing called elite capture for years. They've done it with Kerry's kids, stepkids, and all these other people, and Biden too. And he can't explain or won't explain. He got 30+ million from China and $1 billion hedge fund with Hunter. And he hasn't filed, we haven't seen his B Corp or his IRS info. And, this oil he's been sucking out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know where we're getting this echo from. I hope it don't come there. It's diminishing, it was. I don't know where it comes from, and I hope it's not going to come through on the...
It will.
When we upload the videos. It's gone now, but so's the audio probably.
I think I got it regulated.
And so anyways, it seems like 5 million barrels, it seems, and they asked about this at the White House, and of course that breeze brain, the first black lesbian immigrant, whatever the hell she's supposed to be, this moron, I don't care I don't care what you are, it's who you are. And damn it, if you can't do the job, get the hell out of the way. And she can't do the job. They put her out in front of these reporters who throw her softballs anyways, except for Ducey from Fox. And they were asking her about the $5 million barrels. She says, "Oh, I haven't seen that report yet." Pulling the old Obama trick, like, "Oh, I haven't seen that. I didn't see today's newspapers. Is that in today's newspapers?" It's like, oh, please, you're the president,
Well, over in the UK, when they do the questions of the Prime Minister,
Yeah.
they get the questions so they understand what they've got to talk about, and they can have answers.
Yeah, you'd think, the way it's supposed to be.
Well, evidently here, everybody just likes to ambush everybody, so anyways.
Well, yeah,
please
it's a
continue.
joke. So anyways, he's been sucking this oil out of our reserves, okay? Now, it's only like a 6-month reserve, so if our oil got shut off in the middle of winter or whatever, we would have a reserve to fall back on. So Dipstick, Grampy Simpson, our cadaver-in-chief, he's been sucking oil out of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, or as he calls it, the Global Fund. The Global Fund. What the hell does that even mean, Biden? And it seems like 5 million plus barrels of this stuff, Philo, has kind of gone to China and Europe. It's been sold. It hasn't even been used in the United States. This is the kind of incompetence and greed that we warned you about. I mean, the people, the swamp and the big tech, Twitter and Facefucks, F-A-C-F-U-X, they censored this stuff. I mean, and they downplayed the Johnson Grassley report that came out in the summer of 2020 that showed how corrupt this family was and how corrupt they've been forever and ever and ever. I mean, this guy, when he was vice president, he was dragging his kid around as bag man to shaking down every country he had. We were giving foreign aid to. Oh, sure, you'll get all the foreign aid you want as long as you give a little piece to Hunter and, my little brother there. It's okay. So it's just crazy, man. It's crazy. And oh, geez. This latest shooting. Another wacko kid, goes up on a rooftop with a friggin' high-powered rifle and starts blowing people around, blowing people away at a parade, and so Tucker went after some of the root causes. See, now Alex Berenson, who got back on Twitter today, he settled with Twitter for an undisclosed amount, and he's back on. They canceled him for anti-vaccine misinformation or some crap.
Who did that?
Twitter.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because they've been working with the government.
they're all the same now anyway.
And it seems like they would rather settle out of court for a giant amount of cash, Philo, than to have to go to court and to tell the world what kind of collaboration they're doing with Creepy Joe's administration. So anyways, you talk about red flags. There were red flag laws in Illinois, and this kid sent up every red flag on the planet, just like that schmuck down in Florida at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. They were red flags. God almighty, what was the first one? He threatened to commit suicide, okay? Now that should have been a flag and had him committed, but it didn't, okay? So the next thing you know, he starts, instead of suicidal tendencies, he has homicidal tendencies and starts going after, started amassing a giant collection of knives, daggers, and swords, Philo.
That's not good.
Swords. So the cops had to come down. He threatened to kill his whole family. This was in 2019. Threatened to kill his whole family when he was like 19. He's 21 now. And so the cops come down, roll into his house, and take away all these, something like 16 to 25 swords, knives, and daggers, took them away. And because none of this got sent to the authorities, guess what happened? He was clean as a whistle to go out and buy a damn a rifle. Now, this kid should never have been allowed to own any kind of firearm until he was gone through some kind of probation or had his head screwed on. But you know, it's okay because he was an aspiring rapper, Philo. Did you know that?
Misfiring is right.
Yeah, it's expiring. And they of course, they deleted all his stuff off of YouTube immediately. Damn it. It's got to be there on the archives. If you go to the archives.net or whatever, I'm sure you can find it. But there were red flags everywhere. And Illinois had all these gun laws. He had bizarre threatening behavior. He killed 7 people, wounded 36. All these psychopaths are young men, and all the media gets scrubbed. Yeah, he had the suicide, the dagger, swords. Now, mind you, this is another thing. You keep pounding into these little kids' heads since the time that they're in grade school, that there's no future, that global warming's going to kill the planet, and you know it's going to kill the planet, so you got no future, so why even bother? And it's like, and you wonder why kids are coming out sick in the head? You so-called teachers? What the hell's wrong with you?
Yes, we have to make sure that they transition early enough.
Oh, and that too, yeah. Oh, it's okay. Boys will be girls and girls will be boys. We can actually do it with surgery.
You know, it was an old song by Black Sabbath way back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I can't think of the name of the song, but I will find it. One of the sentences that Ozzy sings is, "Little boy blue's a big girl now."
Yeah. Well, look at the theme song from Cheers, you know. And your husband wants to be a girl. Everybody knows your name. Yeah,
I never
anyways.
liked that show. I never liked that show.
That's a bar show, for crying out loud. So you keep shoving this stuff that they have no future, and they don't. I mean, you know, you shipped, thanks to both parties, they shipped all the decent factory or manufacturing jobs to China. So unless we bring them back like Trump wanted to do, and Bernie too, the swamp got rid of them. And so anyway, so they've got no future, man. And then they, so there's that. And then, of course, at the drop of a hat, and you guys have been doing this, you've been medicating the kids since the 90s. Oh, the kid won't sit still in school, you know, we can't whack him upside the head and make him pay attention. When Philo and I were in school, if you didn't pay attention, you were not allowed to disrupt the rest of the class. If you wanted to fail, that was between you and your parents, okay? I mean, and you had some good teachers. Sometimes we had a place where you'd go to the Brooks house, you'd be with other speds, you know, and you could do something there, but, you know, you were not allowed to disrupt the class. What do they do now? What do they do now? They put them on friggin' Ritalin, okay? And then, if that's not enough, we put them on antidepressants. Like Philo had mentioned the new ones, the SSNIs or whatever they are.
SNRIs, sorry.
SNRIs, yeah. So we got SSRIs and SNRIs, and all these drugs that they proclaim that are going to make people more calm and feel better, they're doing just the opposite. And only Tucker had the sack to bring it out last night. If you get a chance to watch the show from July 5th, my birthday, by the way, watch it. It's insane. And the studies are showing this, okay? The Journal of Political Psychology study claimed that these drugs, they're supposed to calm, keep people sane and happier. They're doing just the opposite. Listen to this, the numbers. From 1991, Philo, to 2018, there's been an increase of 3,000% in the prescriptions written.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what the drug companies want.
Oh, dude, they shouldn't be allowed to advertise on TV. You can't advertise liquor on TV. I mean, what the hell? How many doctors are there? You think doctors are all at home watching TV? No. It's for the patients, and the patient shouldn't be going to the doctor and saying, I want this drug, I want that. No, well, it's insane.
They do advertise liquor on TV.
All after a certain time on cable, yeah.
Yeah, I know, because I see them all the time. Captain Morgan is one of them, and there's a few others.
So, listen to this. So it's a 3,000% increase in prescriptions, a 35% increase in suicides, mass shootings, according to Statista. That's a great website, www.statista.com. There's been an exponential rise. The FDA has a study on youth suicides and teenagers. It shows that young adult and teen suicides are up 40%. But there's no cause for alarm, right, Philo?
Oh, heavens no.
No. In 2020 alone, Pfizer spent $4.5 billion in TV advertising. They spend more on TV adverts than research and development. And you know what? Between that and the vaccines, their profits doubled to $81 billion last year. And Biden's going after the oil companies? Why not go where the money is? The pharmaceutical companies.
You know, it was so funny when I was at the gym, and the owner of the gym at the time was saying, you know, I'm really tired of all of these drug ads. He says, you know, you're sitting there watching TV, and the next thing you know, your 6 or 8-year-old is saying, Dad, Mom, what's erectile dysfunction? It's like, for gosh sakes, nobody has any shame anymore.
No, and it's just crazy. And the names of these new drugs too, they come up on some focus group or something. It's hysterical.
I like the Three Stooges drug, anapanacanasane.
Yeah. Oh man. Like Angachucks. We made that one up years ago.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, for woodchucks and chuckettes. Anyways, but no, it's not the drugs. It's, it's not the fact that you're telling the kids they have no future, but yet they're privileged. If they're white, they're privileged, So you tell the kids they have no future, and then when they, turn 15, turn their hair purple and stick every kind of pin in their head so they look like a pin cushion, get tattoos on their face like this freak. It's crazy, man. And yet they disregard the shootings in the inner cities, Faisal. You notice that one?
I noticed that Chicago doesn't get mentioned very often.
No, yeah, they were. He killed 7 people and wounded 36 in a suburb up north of Chicago. Yet at over the same weekend, there were 5 to 8 people were killed in the south side of Chicago. And Lord knows how many wounded, but they don't care about them because to everybody in power, that is a self-correcting problem. If you've got young, violent black men shooting each other left and right in the inner cities, hey, It saves us a lot of money on jailing them, you know what I mean? It thins the herd. It's a self-correcting problem, mister. And, oh, get this. According to 7 Days, Philo.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, last week they rolled out the vaccine for toddlers. You can get a vaccine now for babies and up to 5 years old. So line up and shine up now. So guess what? Nobody's signing up for the vaccine hardly. Very few people are getting their babies and toddlers vaccinated, right? And 7 Days blamed it on parents being too COVID fatigued, Philo.
You know, they're really sickening. They finally stopped it. But when I used to call Kinney Drugs to get a prescription refill,
Yep.
for 20, I'm exaggerating here, but for 20 minutes, all you hear is, we have the new COVID this, the new COVID this, sign up for this test, do this test, and we now have it for 5-year-olds.
It's crazy.
They finally stopped it last week.
Yeah, thank God for small favors, huh?
Gee whiz, what is wrong with these people?
And they said, it's been too long to feel the excitement anymore. What?
Well, you know, I've seen this before, and there is a group of Fortune 500 executives that had a conference, and the conference was called Never Waste a Good Crisis.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Or Never Let a Good Crisis Go to Waste.
Yeah, well, that was supposedly coined by Rahm Emanuel, the guy who used to send his political opponents dead fish in the mail.
Yeah, but this was an actual conference.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And so anyways, never mind the fact that that the shot is the vaccine could possibly be harmful. It doesn't work well, and it's for a disease that poses little to no harm for children and infants, and it's just crazy. So after this rollout, you know what the percentage is now, Philo?
Was that?
In the bluest of the blue states, the percentage of people getting their toddlers and kids vaccinated is barely up to 1.5%. Not even 2% of people have had it.
Corporate profit right there.
Yeah, it's
Corporate profits down the tank.
yeah. Anyways, and then oh man, the OSHA vaccine mandate is let's see, that's in here. Let's see. Anyways, I'll get to that later. Biden tried to remember. You know, these are the people. This is why the Democrats are going to get their butts kicked.
I hope so.
Because they've turned into the party of totalitarianism, authoritarianism, experts, do as we say, not as we do, and people have had it, man. And now they're trying to beggar us. They've been saying that we should be paying in the USA, we should be paying $10 a gallon like they do in Europe. Never mind, we're sitting on a sea of oil that'd make Saudi Arabia blush. Okay. But you know, I just don't get these people. They've never ran a business. They're all bureaucrats. We got Pete Buttigieg going around blaming racist highways. I'll get to that article if I get time. It's crazy.
How is a highway racist?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah, well, he thinks they are. So, but Biden said that, remember, if you had over 100 employees, you're going to mandatory vaccines. And we'll see, because what happened was last week, along with the Roe v. Wade decision, which has really angered the Democrats, the Supreme Court finally sent Roe back to the states, abortion, back to the states to let them decide it. And I haven't seen the Democrats this angry since we freed their slaves in 1865, man.
No, actually, I saw them once. I saw them just as angry, and that's when LBJ signed over the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
Remember that in the 60s? He signed that, and you know what everybody told him? A Democrat will not win the presidency for the next 2 generations.
Well, it only took a half of one. Clinton came along.
Yeah, finally, but you know, he's kind of a likable sort of dude.
Yeah. Oh, he was a consummate politician. He was smart, not like this moron we got in now.
No, he was very smart, I have to admit. And then Jimmy Carter, of course, but then they hung him out to dry.
Oh, they crucified Carter. So anyways, another decision that the Supreme Court came up, they clipped the wings of the EPA. They said, look, you can't just mandate greenhouse gases as a pollutant. You can't do that. You know, Congress did not give you that much power. Sure, you're the EPA. You're supposed to protect the environment. You're not supposed to dictate, governmental policy. You know, that's the job of the executive and the legislative. You know, so that means that it's clipped the wings. So you won't have any, OSHA will not be able to mandate vaccines, okay? Because these are congressional, these are decisions that the people's representatives should be making. And so same with the CDC. How the hell does the Center for Disease Control supposedly come out with the power to have a rent moratorium? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're going to just let everybody stop paying rent. What?
Have you gotten a call from them lately?
Pardon me?
Have you gotten a call from the CDC lately?
No, thank God.
I've gotten 2 asking me to take a poll about vaccines.
Get the hell out.
And I told them, I said, I don't trust you guys for as far as I can throw you. Twice I told them that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yep.
So thank God we have a real Supreme Court. We haven't seen a conservative Supreme Court since Calvin friggin' Coolidge was president, man.
I wasn't quite born then. I was close, but not quite.
Yeah, it was.
Actually, you know who was president when I was born? Harry Truman.
Yeah, but Eisenhower, man. When we were kids, there were only 48 states in the Union.
That's right.
So, anyways, they said on the only. It was a 6-3 decision that only Congress had the power to do that. And so anyways, it's crazy. I'm not even going to go into the Bidenisms this week. I could spend the whole hour on Bidenisms. But anyways, look at this, Philo. I found this.
I'm angry.
Yeah, I'm old, I'm drunk, and I'm angry. And I'm a dummy. And my crack-addled kid's the smartest person I know. I found this in my house the other day. It was a mailer that went out during the early days of the COVID thing. President Trump's coronavirus guidelines for America. Please visit coronavirus.gov, brought to you by the White House and the CDC, right? Listen and follow the directions of your state and local authorities. Well, that was stupid, because all the states that locked down are the ones that are still struggling now. If you feel sick,
Vermont.
Yeah. If you feel sick, stay home, don't go to work, obviously. If your kids are sick, keep them at home, contact your doctor. If you're an older person or have serious underlying health conditions, stay at home and away from other people. If someone in your household is tested positive, keep the entire household at home. Now, mind you, everybody was testing positive because they were using that stupid PCR test, which is not a test. And let's see, work or study from home whenever possible. That was Fauci right there. Trump should have never listened to Fauci. He should have canned Fauci. But, you know, they were saying, man, the news was after him, the media, everybody, the swamp. He's horrible, he's denying science. And then when Trump got the virus himself, he came out and said, look, you know, it's not that big a deal if you're healthy. Just get it, keep it together. Don't let this thing rule your life, because the more you dwell on it, the worse it seems in your head, and you just get worried and you become anxious. And once you're anxious and worried all the time, your immune system suffers.
Yep.
It's a vicious cycle.
You know, I had it. It was like a cold.
Avoid social gatherings in group of more than 10 people. Avoid eating or drinking at bars and restaurants. Use pickup or delivery options. That's another one that killed a bunch of businesses, okay?
Yep.
What they should have said is if you're senior or have an underlying health condition, then avoid restaurants and bars. If you're young and healthy, the hell, man, go for it. Live your life. That's what they did in Sweden. You idiots.
I love the Swedes. I want one. I want a Swede for
Yeah.
a Goyle friend.
Avoid discretionary travel, shopping trips, and social visits. Oh, my buddy had a Norwegian girlfriend, and she was blonde and gorgeous, Philo. But I'll tell you what, man, that girl had a drinking problem.
Oh, yeah, they do up there because of seasonal affect disorder.
Oh, boy. I think it's a genetic thing, too.
Yeah, well, the Northern Europeans do that, yeah, and the fact that SAD hits them. You
Yeah.
are correct,
It's white people in general, you know. Anyways,
except us Italians.
avoid discretionary travel, shopping trips, and social visits. Nah, that one should have been out too. Again, that's, you know, if you're young and healthy. Do not visit nursing homes or retirement long-term facilities unless to provide critical assistance. Well, yeah, that's where they should have focused everything. They should have kept people away from the nursing homes. And look at what Cuomo did down in New York, man. It's crazy. Always practice good hygiene. Wash your hands. That was the scarf lady, Dr. Deborah Birx, flying around from state to state to state. The lady with the scarf on, the doctor.
Oh, I don't remember her.
Oh, she was always standing next to Fauci and Trump. Yeah, wash your hands, wash your hands. Avoid touching your face. Sneeze or cough into a tissue on the inside of your elbow. Disinfect frequently used items and surfaces as much as possible. That was the old fomite thing. Oh, the fomites, they stay on, you know, they stay on surfaces and, you know, up to like, oh, I don't know, 5 days. And they proved that that was a myth too. And, oh, it's just crazy. If you are, here's the thing, in the blue box in the bottom, even if you are young or otherwise healthy, you are at risk and your activities can increase the risk for others. Now, that is only marginally correct. We knew that to be only marginally correct. It is critical that you do your part to slow the spread of the coronavirus. Well, staying at home in a building where, you know, especially in a heated or air-conditioned building, we found this over time. The Southerners would get it in the winter, and the Southerners would get it in the summer, and the Northerners would get it in the winter, because you're stuck in a building that's using the same ventilation systems that are you can keep all your people together at home. And what happens if one person's got it? It spreads throughout the whole building.
And if you're totally quarantined and you don't even go out to get you know, gasoline, or if you don't go out and get your food, then you're stuck inside. And what they found in these nursing homes was the deaths were caused by failure to thrive.
Yeah.
So that's what these old people was. There was nothing wrong with them. It was failure to thrive. They were isolated.
And look at what it did to the kids.
Yep.
The kids are all flipping out now.
Yep, that's
They
right.
missed a year or two of their lives. They didn't get to go out with their friends or nothing. It's just like, stayed home and watch a damn screen. Yeah, here it is. The vaccine
that
for
would
federal
drive me
employees
crazy.
will remain blocked in December court ruling. The Texas Appeals Court is dissolving a previous decision that Biden's vaccine mandate for federal employees. The Fifth Circuit is rehear the Fed's medical freedom v. Biden. It'll remain blocked as long as the court doesn't issue otherwise. They've tentatively calendared the on-bank oral arguments for the week of September 12th. It's just crazy. And, oh yeah, the CDC, it seems they have no safety data on what happens if you give the COVID shots on top of other vaccines to kids. Oh, sure, pile them on, man. The more the better, right, Philo?
Yeah, I'm gonna get mine in, I think, late August or sometime.
Oh, I got a buddy of mine, his girlfriend's got the Rona, and she's had 4 shots. 4 of them.
Yeah, Barb and I had 3 and we caught it.
What the hell? I said, oh, that shows you it works, doesn't it? He says, well, who knows? You might have kept her out of the hospital. I says, you might have. There's no data to suggest either way. We don't know. They never did any testing.
Supposedly, the flu shots are supposed to make the flu less intense.
Sure.
Not that it would prevent it. And that's what most people don't understand. It isn't going to stop you from getting it.
I don't know. I don't trust him. I never have and never will. Oh, Biden's plan to promote green energy will end in tears, just like in Germany. It's
The future
nuts.
is ours.
Pardon me?
The future is ours.
The future, like Klaus Schwab.
That guy sounded so much like Hitler, it was scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep that cut. We'll have to run that cut again a lot, and you know, it'd be nice if we could make it into a cut with Schwab talking, and then the Hitler Youth singing, and then Schwab talking, and the Hitler Youth singing.
Well, it can be done.
Yeah, that'd be fun, I swear to God. Yeah, let's see. The lessons for America from Germany, which stepped to the forefront 22 years ago by adopting Energy Wien Day. Energy Wien Day. Let's see. In 2000, less than 7% of Germany came from renewables. By 2021, that's over 40% and 20% of the total, including EVs. So Germany has spent heavily to increase, but in the case of wind and solar, capacity never delivered the promised output. Now, here's another thing. When I was a kid, I remember President Kennedy said we're going to put a man on the moon in 10 years and bring him home safely. All right? And all these old-timers and the Republicans said, to man on the moon, you're out of your mind. All right? Now, you're telling me that if we could put a man on the moon, we couldn't have net zero energy by now? I swear to God, there's a lot of people out there who think that we have the technology, but it's been buried because they haven't been able to profit from it.
Of course, that's the whole thing. They talked about solar energy. That was discussed back in 1973.
Yeah.
1973. And you know what people said? It's because the electric companies don't know how to put a meter on it yet. And now that they figured it out, we have it.
Yeah, we still don't have the way to store it, and it doesn't seem to be enough. But the thing that kills me is, even in most of the country, say south of the Manson-Nixon line, in over half the country, you could do rooftop hot water, Philo, and save 50% of energy right there. Because all this electricity and gas or propane is going to keep a tank full of water hot. And if you put a solar collector on every roof, my God, man, they do it in Israel. It's crazy. All you need is a tank with black tubing around it. It's nuts.
Sure.
It's that easy. So anyways, in Germany, unused capacity is the norm for power grids. By 2019, the capacity had risen dramatically. Its capacity factor had fallen under 20%. So anyways, the whole idea that you take something as complicated as an electric system, one of the most complicated things people have invented to date, and choose what to put on that system and how to run it by a popularity contest, to me that's nuts, and it's going to end in tears. Said Professor Peter Hartley, Germany's energy sector had a difficult year in 2021 because the winds were calm. The capacity for solar fell because it wasn't a sunny year. It's just nuts, man. And yet, will we learn from Germany? Oh, hell no. No, Tom Hartman to this day is saying, Germany, they get all half their power. Oh, sure. What did they said if they don't account for a big chunk of the energy. Oh, here we are. A 2018 report by the International Council on Clean Transportation noted that the production of electric vehicle batteries in China, where more than half of the lithium-ion ones are made, generated 60% more CO2 than building traditional gas-powered engines, Philo. So all this plastic and all the manufacturing going into these batteries that last only 4 years, mind you, is more than a gas-powered engine. It's crazy. Oh, here we are. Red flags. Oh, man. It seems this Cremo maggot had left a trail of red flags like we told you about. Thanks, Philo. In an animated video since taken down by YouTube, he raps about armies walking in darkness, drawing of a man pointing a rifle, another figure with hands up in the distance. It's nuts. Let's see. There were red flags over the place. All over the place. Nobody listened. Oh, and this is the front page today, Philo. Front page of the Boylington Free Press.
Oh, that rag, huh?
It's crazy. It's a bunch of silhouettes of all a bunch of school shooting victims. Yet they don't mention the 100,000 mostly white overdoses. They don't mention the inner city black kids that are shot every weekend, and their lives don't matter. And here's another thing too. Now, Philo and I remember when we were kids, it started in the 60s mostly, okay? Now look at all the silhouettes of all the poor kids that are gone there. In the 60s, these wacko groups from underground groups in Europe to the PLO to all these other groups started hijacking planes, remember?
Well, there was a whole rash of them that were hijacking planes to Cuba.
Yeah, to Algeria, to Cuba. Look at that Al Pacino movie, Dog Day Afternoon.
Yep.
It was about hijacking, because they were taking these planes and hijacking them. So what did they do? After 9/11, they got together and they said, hey, maybe we ought to harden the cockpit. Maybe we ought to make it so that nobody can break into the cockpit. That might help. Well, sure enough, man, we haven't seen hardly any, hijacked planes since 9/11. None. And so what do they do with the schools? You got to do the same thing with the schools. Yet some dumbass down in Texas leaves the door open so this wacko shooter can come in, and then you got the chicken crap cops waiting 77 minutes out in the hallway when the door wasn't even locked, and what? You got to be kidding me. I mean, it's simple stuff. We don't need gun control of law-abiding people. And here we are. They asked Biden about when he was over in Europe. I guess we're at war with Russia now, and we're gonna spend whatever it takes for as long as it takes, according to Dementia Joe. Did you hear that quote, Philo?
What was that again?
Biden said they asked him how long are we gonna be supporting the Ukraine? And he says, as long as it takes.
Yep, that's a smart move, right?
It's like, what? You haven't declared war. The Congress says that the Constitution says that you must declare war. You need a declaration of war, or at least a use of use of force authorization. But oh no, man.
Well, that's what Congress does. It uses this other term that you use.
It pawns it off.
And they pawns it off on the president, and so they don't have to be responsible if it all goes south, right?
Yeah. And who was one of the only people that didn't vote for that stupid war in Iraq with Bernie?
That's right. He didn't vote for that one or even the first one. What was the Gulf War?
Yeah,
Gulf War I, he didn't vote for that either. But guess who did?
I think we can all agree.
I think we all agree this has been a historic NATO summit, Biden said. He noted the last time NATO updated its mission was statement 12 years ago, when Russia was characterized as a partner, and it didn't even mention China.
That's because China's not in the North Atlantic, you freaking moron. The new document hammered out at the summit changes that. Oh, sure. The world has changed a great deal since then. No, it hasn't. The world hasn't changed at all because you're a weak idiot, you mooshbag. You ran out of Afghanistan, leaving $80 billion worth of equipment in the hands of the Taliban. All our base, you blew it. You've blown it. He's blown everything since he just ruined this country in 18 months. The summit was about strengthening our alliances, meeting the challenges of our world as it is today, and the threats we're going to face in the future, and we're paying for this. We got 100,000 troops now in Europe, 100,000 U.S. troops, right? And it's like, what are they going to do? They can't do anything without air support, without armor, without artillery. It's a joke, man. It's a European vacation for our troops. And we're paying for it. And NATO, thank God Trump went over there and told them, look, hey, you guys got to pay your fair share. We're not going to be pulling your stuff anymore. You're supposed to spend 2% of your GDP on defense, and the dope-smoking Dutch and the goofy Germans and the freaky French haven't spent a friggin' nickel, and we're supposed to pull all the weight while all these generals sit in their air-conditioned offices in Brussels doing nothing, playing pinochle.
Well, you know, Steve, as soon as you tell the military that they want to cut spending, Oh, no, we can't have that. We want more money.
Well, they're gonna, I hope when the Republicans come in and say, look, you gotta stop this diversity and equity crap, or you're not getting any more money, okay? You gotta stop with this vaccine crap and get all these soldiers back, all our good career soldiers back, because of this vaccine mandate. You drop the mandate, you get them back, or you don't get your money. It's gotta be that simple.
It'd be nice if we could get somebody with some guts enough to do it.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen. People are putting up with it, whether it's Trump back or Ron DeSantis. Somebody's going to come in and put their foot down and try fighting the swamp again. It's going to be tough because you're up against every department, like these Supreme Court jokers, the Supreme Court ruling against these jokers. You know, if we don't get rid of the administrative state is going to choke us.
Oh, definitely.
Biden also highlighted announcements, including more economic and military assistance to Ukraine as it aims to beat back Russia's 4-month invasion. Announcements and tougher sanctions meant to punish Moscow. Well, these sanctions haven't done squat, Philo. You notice that? The ruble is now stronger than it has ever friggin' been. Ever.
Maybe we should get some of those.
Yeah, that's it. Invest in rubles, man. These things just, they're not working. Or they're working just like Biden with everything. They're working exactly opposite as they were intended. Because it hasn't worked out. Yeah, 100,000 troops on our dime. Biden says the U.S. will permanently station the U.S. Army 5th Corps Forward Command in Poland. This is from, what the hell is it, Thursday's paper. Oh yeah, Russian threat. What are we going to do? You know, we're not going to do dick. That's what I'll tell you. We're not going to do dick. And Putin knows it, and it's a damn joke. Thanks, Philo.
Yeah, you don't want to get in a shooting war with them.
No, especially not on their turf.
You might win, but you'll pay an awful price.
It's crazy. Biden also highlighted more economic and tougher sanctions. We're going to stick with the Ukraine, and all of the alliance is going to stick with Ukraine as long as it takes. I don't know how it's going to end, but it will not end with a Russian defeat of Ukraine and Ukraine. What?
Huh?
I'm telling you, the guy is non compos mentis.
I just happened to look up. You know, Bernie is 1 year older than Biden, and yet he's sharp as a tack.
Oh yeah, look at Senator Chuck Grassley. The guy's like what, 91?
I don't know.
Seriously, look him up.
Some of these guys, though, they're all getting too damn old, Steve.
Yeah, but I mean Grassley, good Lord, man. I'm telling you, the guy is sharp as, yeah, like you said, he's all there. Yeah, OPEC. Oh, sure. Oh, let me get the racist roads. Here we are. Pete Buttigieg, giggity. $1 billion in infrastructure program seeks racial equity, not equality. There's that word again, equity. When I hear equity or racial justice, I'm grab my wallet because I know they're going to take money from Whitey, and God knows what they're going to do with it. And it'll just filter down. Now listen to this. Pete Buttigieg starts a $1 billion, first-of-its-kind pilot program helping reconnect cities and neighborhoods racially segregated or divided by road projects, pledging wide-ranging help to dozens of communities despite the program's limited dollars. Now, see, they had this thing when Philo and I were kids called urban renewal.
Yes,
and
nobody up here knew what it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was no urbans up here.
Yeah.
But if you were when I was a kid living outside of Boston, it meant that they were going to come through. They were going to put in elevated or underground highways, and so that people could get in and out of the city quicker. And they didn't care. Of course, it went through poor neighborhoods. What did you think the thing was going to go through Beacon Hill? Not only did it not make sense to go through Beacon Hill, it made sense to go through. That's what they built the roads, where the land was the cheapest and a route made the most sense. Under the Reconnecting States can now apply for federal grant. Black communities
built primarily through lower-income black communities after the 1950s creation of the interstate highway system. They could include rapid bus transit lines to link disadvantaged neighborhood to jobs. What jobs? Caps built on top of highways featuring green spaces, bike lanes, and pedestrian walkways to allow for safe crossings over the roadways, repurposing former rail lines, and partial removal of highways. Now, wait a minute, I thought we were going to keep our rail lines because everybody was going to take a train in the future, right? Wrong. The grants are now considerably less than $20 billion they wanted. Let's see. Listen to this stupid crap. Transportation can connect us to jobs, services, and loved ones. We have seen countless cases around the country where a piece of infrastructure cuts off a neighborhood or community because of how it was built. But a giggity howdy doody said. We can't ignore the basic truth that some of the planners and politicians behind those projects built them directly through the heart of vibrant, populated communities. They were slums. They were rat-infested, vermin, cold water, flat walk-ups that were built in the 1850s, Petey.
I know, I used to live near one.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, yeah.
You know, people forget that.
We have the attention span of a gnat.
Oh, man. Sometimes as an effort to reinforce segregation. Sometimes because the people there had less power to resist. And sometimes as part of a direct effort to replace or eliminate black neighborhoods. Now, he came out last year, Philo, honest to God, and said that the engineers designed these bridges to be lower. They made the bridges lower so that buses full of minorities couldn't go to the beach, Philo. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Because it didn't happen. He's a moron. But he's gay. He's our first gay transportation secretary.
And just because he's gay, that makes him qualified?
Yeah, to do nothing. He's a moron. He's a former mayor. I mean, God bless Mayor Monet. I would trust Paul Manette more than I would trust the mayor of South Bend, this Pete Buggitigig.
Well, at least Paul knows how government works.
Yeah, and Paul, given this, Paul would take people who know what they're doing and then let them do the work. Because he's good at managing stuff like that.
Yep.
Not this moron. He wants to get in the spotlight and that's it. He described reconnecting communities as a principle, not just a program, to address the issue under race. Let's see. The Transportation Department has aimed to help communities that feel racially harmed. That feel harmed, Philo?
I feel very harmed all the time.
How do you quantify a feeling?
I feel very harmed.
Oh, it's crazy.
All the time.
Yeah. Let's see. Environmental justice. He drew fire from some Republicans when he said the federal government had an obligation to address the harms of racist design in highways. There's trees they're putting in. They're saying that highways are racially discriminatory. I don't know how a road can be that, said Ron DeSantis. He dismissed it as woke. In his remarks Thursday, Buttigieg pushed back at critics, noting that there's nothing sacred about the status quo with roads and bridges. They're not divinely ordained, they're decisions, and we can make better decisions than what came before. Racist roads and bridges. This is what we're up against.
Well, you know what? Every time I go down the interstate, I feel that they're very anti-Italian.
I think they're anti-Russian. Every time I see those 5 stars and it says Eisenhower Interstate System, Philo, I don't feel right. I feel it's just too American.
Okay, Steve, last but not least.
Oh, my God, already. Last but not least, local news. People's Republic of Bummington, okay? Here's the thing. This came out the other day. They put, you thought you owned your property and you could rent it out as you see fit. You wanted to make more money as a B&B or make more money as a short-term rental through Airbnb. Well, no, Burlington put the kibosh on that. Owners now must register short-term rentals every year and pay an annual fee of $110 for whole units and $80 for partial. Owners must prove their primary residence by a homestead declaration. Each short-term rental must have an emergency contact. Owners of houses or apartments that have more than 2 units and rent one without a host present, 65% of less of the area median income defined by the city's inclusionary zoning. It's crazy. It's crazy. This is what happens when you elect communists, man. Oh, but they're socialists.
They're not even good at being communist.
No.
They've turned it more into fascist.
It is. It's fascist. It's not your property. You know, we're going to spank you if you...
Mac, are you awake?
Mackie.
Mac.
And never mind that, is he still breathing?
Yeah, he's breathing. His eyes are half open.
Mac, you want to close the show? I'm telling you, we'd be better off with the puppy. I'd clean up after in a mess, but at least she's she's funny. He's just too old and tired. Well, once again, you wasted a perfectly good hour of your life watching this stupid show, so hopefully, and we'll see you again next week, inshallah, good Lord willing, the creek don't rise. Until then, get down on your hands and knees in the men-only mosque, head east and pray to, sniff the bum of the guy in the man dress in front of you, and pray towards the meteorite in Mecca and say, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Akbar. Mackie.
And a happy Deus Magnus Est to everyone out there.
Mac.
Are healthy and happy. I know how important care that affirmed someone's true identity can be.
You're trannies.
Wow.
Violent extremist threat comes from racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists. I don't understand white rage, and I'm white. White supremacy is a poison. It's a poison.
What?
It really is.
Oh, it is. It's everywhere. Wait.
Through our body politic. And it's been allowed
Speak
to
for
fester
yourself.
and grow right in front of our eyes.
Bro, I see people out there get hurt. I don't want to hurt. I just make a...
It's like they knew she was going to get shot. The cops are all hanging around. They're guarding the doors.
Watch these cops. Watch these cops just walk off. Where are they going and why? Now all hell breaks loose. These guys start picking at the doors. Why did the cops walk away? Why are they just standing there?
So they wouldn't get hit by the gunfire.
Can anyone explain this? Now you see, there he is, Michael Bird and his gun. And he's about to shoot Ashley Babbitt.
Boom, shot her dead.
Why did any of that just happen? Why did those cops walk away? What the hell happened there? 1,400 videos of you with the hookers and the cocaine. Yeah, I think you can get rid of those. I know it's fun to look back, and all, but I think it's time we give those the old scrub-a-dub, all right? All right, love you.
Shit, my baby rock. My baby rock. And the baby, I feel so good tonight. Oh, oh, she's my baby. I go home, darling. She's my baby. Oh, baby, hunt you, she my wife. I want to tell me, baby, where it gets rolling down. Tell me, baby, where it gets rolling down. They're gonna have more fun. Baby, you don't go. 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 Man, you hate me so. I love my baby with red dress on. I love my baby with red dress on. I'm gonna shake it all out, darling. I'm gonna have more fun. Yeah, with baby, 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 baby.